Hey boys and girls, it's Miss Lisa, the art teacher. Welcome back to my table of art. Today, I've got something fun and exciting that I want to introduce you to a new artist that I discovered. His name is Vincent Scarpace, if I'm pronouncing it right. And what this man does is he takes paintings of fish and makes them abstract. And they're really very colorful and very beautiful. Here are some pictures of some of his abstract paintings. Abstract generally means that it's unidentifiable. Like most abstract art, you can't tell if it's a house or a tree or even a person. And these are his abstract fish that he paints. They're two-dimensional, which means they're flat. You can only see the front. And if you came around the back of the canvas, you would have nothing behind it. So these are abstract two-dimensional fish. What I thought I would do, I wanted to make three-dimensional versions of his fish. 3 dimensions. Do you know what that means, three-dimensional? We can see above it, around it, on top of it, okay? I said above it, didn't I? So what I came up with was this three-dimensional fish. And it's kind of abstract. Look how the painting's done. Let me get this light over a little bit better. You see how I painted him? Kind of abstract like the two-dimensional paintings of our artist, Vincent Scarpace. Do you see any kind of resemblance between his two-dimensional paintings and my three-dimensional fish? So what we're going to do today, we're going to make our fish using something so basic, which I think fell on the floor. Oh, here it is. It did. Sorry, my computer's going to slide off in a second. There we go. Sorry, guys. Sorry for the shakes. A toilet paper roll. Yes, we're going to use a toilet paper roll. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to paint your toilet paper roll one color, which is what I did. I painted it a light color orange. That's going to be my base color. You could color it any way you want. Maybe for this one I'll choose a different color. So you're going to need some tempera paint, different colors, yellows, reds, orange, blues, whatever you want, because this is going to be an abstract fish. So I'm going to grab my paintbrush, which is right here. I'm trying to decide what color I want to use. And my water. I have a little bowl for water. And I used orange before. I might use yellow for this one. I really liked the way this came out, and I hope you're going to enjoy making yours as much as I did. So I have a bunch of old paint that I've been playing with before, see? So if I wet it, it might come alive. Let's see. Yeah, it's not coming alive. So I'm going to have to use some new paint. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Let's see, maybe this blue paint's alive. Ooh, yes. I got some paint. I've got a winner. Okay, so I'm going to use this turquoisey color that I was using for a different project. I'm going to paint my toilet paper roll. Good way to do it is put your fingers in the roll and hold it. Then you have control of your paper towel, toilet paper roll as you paint. Just wanted to make sure this was recording. Sometimes I forget to put the button on. And remember, when you use water, it spreads the paint nice, okay? So look how much I've already painted. This is so easy. And the water also makes it dry faster because it's thinned the paint out. It's not so thick, so we won't have to wait for this big, thick paint to dry. So, I found him by accident, this artist, and I thought his work was so pretty. I love color. I love all the colors in his paintings. And I thought, wow, wouldn't it be great if we could bring his paintings to life? And that's how I came across this toilet paper roll idea. Making abstract fish out of a roll of toilet paper. So I'm going to have to put this on the side and let this dry. There we go. I'm going to go clean out my brush while we wait for that to dry. So I'm going to put this on pause and I'll be right back. And you, if you're done painting, go clean your brush out too, because you don't want it to get stiff. Because my details, I'm going to use a much smaller brush. Painting on, I'm going to use the bigger one. But then for details, I'm going to get my smaller one. I'll be right back. Stay there. Don't go anywhere. You promise? Okay, I'm back. But my toilet paper roll is still wet, so in the meantime, I thought maybe I would talk to you about something else. I want you to look at the fish right here. Notice it has like these nice flowing, flurry type of, I don't know, extensions coming out, which I recreated using the paper here. Paper is so easy to work with. It does whatever you ask it to do. I want it to curl. So while I'm waiting for my toilet paper roll to dry, I cut some strips of colored paper. I'm using some warm colors because the base of my fish is going to be that cool blue, which is still drying. So I want some of those extensions to be like yellow, red, and maybe even a little green. So I cut strips, thin strips. I went into my scrap pile, so don't use good paper. Look in the scrap pile. You never know what you can find. Then, in order to make it curl, very simple. Find anything, a pencil, a marker, anything. Take your first strip, hold it on the edge, and then just wrap it around. And it'll create that curly effect. Just be gentle, don't rip your paper. Okay? See, I have it wrapped around the marker. And the thinner the marker or the pencil, the tighter your curl. If this is too tight, you can actually just pull it out. And you see how it's starting to curl a little bit less. I'm going to do that with the yellow paper too. And I'm going to glue two colors together. One that might be shorter than the other so it'll curl inside. Because I want to make those extensions. I want to recreate those extensions in a three-dimensional way. So now I have this nice yellow curl and this nice red curl. So I'm going to take the two ends, making sure that they're curling in the same direction. And I'm going to make that extension that will come out of my fish. So I'm going to glue these two together as we wait for our fish to dry. You can take a little glue stick. And I'm going to glue the ends so that they'll just stick together. Just a little glue there. Hold them together. You see how it's on yellow on one side, red on the other? Because I glued them together. And they interact with each other. And that flows and it's bouncy and it kind of resembles the ribbony looking painting that came out of his abstract paintings. And I like that. I like that look. And I think I'll prepare maybe two more curls. Maybe a yellow one, a big fat yellow one, the fatter strip, with maybe a green color. Because that'll add a lot of pretty color to our abstract fish, our three-dimensional abstract fish. You know, when I make these projects, I create as I go. And that's what art's all about, creating as you go. I mean, yeah, I give you lesson plans that are step by step, but sometimes you could go your own way. Create your own style. Make your own artistic decisions. Okay, so this is another one. I curled this green paper with this yellow paper. You know, if any of you are coming to school for the summer, I'm going to be coming in person. So far, that's what I hear. And I'm very excited about that because I miss all of you very, very much. I was at the school the other day. I saw Cassidy. I saw Michael. It was very exciting. You were all very diligently working on your schoolwork. I didn't want to disturb you. So here we have another one. So I'm just going to put them on the side as I wait for my toilet paper roll to dry. I'm going to do another red and yellow. I'm actually going to curl them at the same time. I'll just keep them together and I'll wrap them around the marker. Wrap them around so they'll get that nice curl like a ribbon. Ribbon in the sky. All right. I don't have a voice. That's why you have the music teacher and I'm the art teacher. Because I can't sing. I wish I could, but I can't. I wish, I wish, I wish. Look at that. I love it. Love, love, love this ribbon effect. Okay, now I'm going to glue these two together. All right, now we're going to go back to the toilet paper roll and we're going to start painting our designs on our fish. Now, you have to understand, it's abstract. I want you to look at this. You're each going to get this sheet. And look at these fish that he did. You'll notice there's swirling lines, there's dots, there's straight lines, there's colors blending. This is what you're going to do with your fish, your toilet paper fish that we're going to create into a 3D fish. But first, before we do that, we've got to make it into the shape of a fish. It's almost dry, okay? If you notice, my fish has a curved end and it goes in the middle where his fin comes out like a triangle. Did you notice that? And that's a simple procedure. All we're going to need to do is cut a little bit, fold and tuck, and we'll have the shape of the fish. And then we can start our painting. So, let's take our toilet paper roll. I'm going to bring you down to my table so you can kind of see a close-up of this procedure. Okay, so come on down. And plus it's going to be on like a lighter surface so you'll be able to see better. Here's my toilet paper roll. I'm going to squish it down a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you with the marker how you're going to cut. Here's the rounded edge of my fish. See how he's rounded? And then I'm going to cut in the sides. Flat. Let me start with the rounded top. I'm actually going to cut a little less than I measured because I want them to be a little bit longer. Okay, so this is what I have so far. Just a rounded top. Now I'm going to cut into the side. One cut there. And one cut there. Then I'm going to fold that cut down on the side. Look how I folded that. Here's where I cut in, one cut. Then I'm going to fold it so that it goes parallel with the last ending line. Can you see that? I cut it on an angle, then I folded it over. I'm going to do the same thing down here. I cut it on an angle, and I'm going to fold it so that the line is parallel with the end of the fish. Do you see that? If I come closer, maybe you could see. Okay, now I'm going to open up my fish because we're going to now tuck that part that we folded in. So it's now on the inside of the fish. We're going to do that with both sides. Open up the fish, and then we're going to tuck that part that we folded, and it'll go right in. You see how it goes right in? It's folded in. So now you have the shape of the fish, but it's folded on the inside, giving the fish some body, keeping it strong and sturdy. Okay? So now, I'm going to bring you back up so I can see you. That's my helping hand. Hello, guys. So I can see you as I paint. And I want to bring you nice and close. Ooh, I'm coming closer. Okay, because we're going to paint our fish. Now, when you paint your fish, I'm going to use a smaller paintbrush, which I thought I brought over here, which I guess I did not. I'm going to set up all my paint. It's over here. I want to use a smaller brush because I want to create more details with my new abstract fish. So I'm going to get a bunch of colors. Temperas. I've got some blue. Put that in my palette. I'm going to put some green. I have everything on the floor because I'm running out of space over here. I'll be moving into a new room in a couple of weeks, so everything's all crazy over here right now. I'm going to use some white. Maybe I'm going to use a little red. Do I have any yellow up here? I don't have yellow here. Okay, I'm going to put some red in here. And believe me, we're not using a lot of paint, so not a big deal. Oh, there's the yellow and red. Hold on. So you can use washable tempera paint, or if you have acrylics, I was reaching over, sorry. You can use acrylic paints. I have both. I have washable tempera and I have these little acrylics. So I'm going to put them on a different plate. The nice red. I got nice red there. And I've got a little yellow. This one here. Okay, now the fun begins. If you like painting. If you don't like painting, then it's not going to be fun. Whoopsie. Okay, so here's our fish. And we want to do some of those curvy lines that Vincent Scarpace did. So I'm going to dip my brush. I think I'll start with a light color. And I'm just going to kind of like place where I would put maybe an eye. Just to start. So I get an idea of where I'm going, what I'm doing. Very simple. Maybe I'll use a little green to create like the illusion of a mouth. Okay? Now let's make it abstract. I think I'm going to start with my tail. And I'm just going to make some gliding lines. And I'm dipping my brush in different colors of paint as I do this. I think it's best if I bring it down to my table. Hang on. This way you could see everything. And I could see better too. So let's see what happens. Come on. Yeah, this is better. Okay. So you see all my paper plates of color and my fishy. So what I'm doing here, see how I'm just dipping my brush in. I think I'll choose a green color to dip it in. Maybe I'll dip in some white. And I'm going to start swirling around the eye. Oh, and remember to use the pictures that I gave you as some references, because that'll help you get the idea of how Vincent created his abstract fish designs. Oh, don't forget the red. That's a good color here. Maybe add some red to his eye area. And don't be afraid of mixing the colors and blending the colors and letting the colors smear around each other. You know, this is really all part of his whole way that he creates these abstract fish, you know. And then he used some dots. So one thing you could do, let me clean my brush because I don't want that to get ruined. You could take like a pencil and use the back of it, or a stick, or here I happen to have a stick here, so I'm going to just like dip it into some of these paint colors, and I'm just going to create some shapes on my fish. Nothing says you can't do that. This is your abstract painting. Treat this fish like it's a canvas and you're making an abstract art. Forget that it's a fish and go with whatever your gut tells you to do. I'm going to do this because I just feel like it. And this is kind of like what Vincent did when he made his abstract fish. And like, look at this. Look at how cool it's coming out. It's beautiful, right? I mean, I think it is. If you don't want to do anything else here, then turn him over. And we'll do the other side. And we could keep our fingers in the fish as we paint, because we don't have to worry that he's wet on one side. So let's pick another spot for an eye. How about right here? We'll do a mouth. And we'll just start making our design again, any way you want. Go with the curve of the eye, Go with the curve of the fish if you want. It's abstract, and abstract is what you want it to be. What you're trying to do is fine with me. Creative decisions, artistic decisions. There's no right or wrong in this project. We're going with whatever feels right. Keeping in mind like the direction of the fins maybe, just to give you an idea how to paint. You don't have to, but it's just an idea. Add some dots along the way. Use the tips of your brush to make these dots, or a pencil, the eraser of a pencil. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to put a blue dot in the center for another eye. Highlight the mouth a little bit more. I think I might add a couple more dots here, but look how beautiful. This is just stunning. It really is stunning. Maybe some white. Cover up some of that. Blue behind it. Don't be afraid. You know, don't be afraid to add the colors. Blend. You could always paint over your fish if you don't like what you see. Right? So don't be afraid. The more color you add, the more color you add, the better this fish is going to come out. I believe. That's my belief. Look at how beautiful. Just like his paintings. Alright, so we're going to have to put our fish over to dry. So let me get my helping hand and bring this computer lid up. Okay, so now we're going to set him up to dry. Find something like a water bottle, anything that you can. Just take your fish and put him right on top. See? Whoopsie. Thought he was going to fall. See how he's drying here? Look at how fabulous he looks already. I'm so excited. So we can't do anything. We can't start gluing until he's dry. And when he's dry, we're going to add these beautiful curled paper swirls that we made. He's going to come out looking like one of these beautiful two-dimensional paintings. Only he's going to be a three-dimensional fish. So I'll put you on pause, and I'll see you in a little while. Okay? Bye. Hi guys, I'm back. And it appears like our fish is pretty much ready to go. What do you think? Pretty abstract, right? So what we're going to do now, we're going to add those curls to our fish that I made earlier. Remember, you're just going to take little strips of paper, roll them together around a pencil or marker, and then they curl up when you do that. So now I need to decide where do I want these to go and how do I want them to go. I love the idea that they're extensions of the fish. What direction do I want them to go? Do I want them to face that way? Or do I want them to go that way? I must think what I want to do. Do I want them to go in this direction? So decide what you want, how you want your fish curls to go. Do we want them to go like that? I curl them like that. I kind of like this idea. Nope, maybe this idea. Like that. Yeah, I kind of like that. Let me see how I did the other one. Alright, so the other one went back and around, outside the back here, down and around. Alright, let's see. We'll make that one go down. So the down one we'll make here. We put this one right here, like that. Yeah, I kind of like that. Does that look pretty much the same? I like it. I know what it is. One's longer than the other. I made one shorter and one longer. That's right. So I'm going to curl this bottom one a little bit more. That's what it is. I had too much. And see, that's how we trial and error. That's how we decide how we want our art to look. So I cut one of the curls shorter, and I'm recurling it around the pencil to give it a little curl, curly curl. I'm going to curl the yellow again, because it was just curling out a little bit too much. Yeah, I like it much better now. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to glue this now to the bottom of my fish right here. I like that. Yes, yes, yes. And then I could always stretch it out once I've decided where it's going. So come on down to the table. This way you can see what I'm doing. I always forget to bring you down. Come on down. This is my operating table. So I've got all these curly cues, and I'm just trying to decide what I want to do. And my decision was to put this one on the bottom like this, right? Yeah, I like that. All right, so I'm going to glue it in place. Don't be cheap with the glue or it won't stick. I'm going to grab it, see the bottom here. I'm going to glue it right to the bottom there. Press from inside the fish. Press it in place. Let that dry. And I'm going to do the same thing on the top. My fingers are all sticky, so it's coming off with my finger. I'm going to do the same kind of curls up on the top. And remember, I have to cut the one on the inside a little. Actually, it looks like it's cut, but just a little bit more. And we're going to roll the yellow one a little bit more on the pencil. And I'll roll this one a little bit more. Yeah, see, it's not as tight. And I'm going to glue that on the top. So let's get some glue on here. We're going to stick it to the top of the fish. So I have the cool color of the fish, the blue cool, and I'm using the warm strips as the extensions. And then we're going to have the green and yellow come out from the back tail. So I'm going to roll them on. One of them is going to be shorter. Which one? I guess the green one. We're going to roll these with the marker. It's going to be a little bit fatter curl. Sharpie marker is a little bit wider. See how we're doing it? Don't worry if you're not going perfect. It's okay. Put it on the inside of the fish. So I'm going to glue this part here. And press it on. Here. Okay. So let's let that dry. Ah! It's not drying very well. Let's get rid of all the extra curls. Wrap my glue up. Now what I did with the other fish, I put a hole in it. And I stuck a pencil so I could display him and watch him swim. I'm going to do the same thing with this one, even though it's still wet. You should wait till it's dry. I'm going to use my hole puncher to punch a hole on the bottom. Ah! Make sure it's dry. I'm rushing this and all the curls are coming off. So, for argument's sake, you know what I'm going to do? I would never do this normally, but everything's coming apart. I'm going to staple it because I can't wait for it to dry. If I can squeeze the staple in there. I might not be able to. Or I'm just going to do this. Okay, don't worry. I got it. I'm not going to staple. I take it back. I'm just trying to rush. There, I found a way to stick it. And I'm going to put one on the bottom. Make sure that sticks too. By curling it in. That helped. By curling it onto the inside of the fish. Didn't help too much, fell right off. Ah, glorious, glorious, glorious. Oh, maybe I need to add more glue. What is wrong with me today? Hang on, guys. I gotta add more glue to the base of this fish so the paper sticks. There we go. There we go. Now we're talking. Okay, now we're talking. As I'm talking, the paper comes right off on my finger. So that's one. Here's the second one. And here will be the third one. I'll put some glue up here. Problem is my fingers are covered with glue, and as I pull away, I'm pulling the ribbons off. I have so much glue on my fingers. So boys and girls, I'm not going to try to put the hole puncher in here because it's still wet. But I will put the little frillies on one more time. It keeps coming off. Trial and error, we don't give up. You can cheat a little bit by putting a staple in. It doesn't fit. Can't cheat. Just got to let it take its time and dry. But you can see how beautiful it came out. What is happening tonight? What is happening tonight? There we go. Okay, see the curlies here and the curlies here? This really is pretty though. You have to say, this is really pretty. It's got to dry. When it's dry, I'm going to put a hole punch on the bottom and I'm going to stick my pencil in it, just like this one, so that I can just walk around with my fish on a stick, my three-dimensional fish on a stick, abstract, inspired by Vincent Scarpati. Okay, guys, that's the end of our lesson. Let me bring you back up. That was my helping hand. It's got to dry, I'm sorry. My problem is I have so much glue on my fingers that it's sticking to the fish. Let me see if I can hold it up. Now we lost the tail, but there's the two side ones. It's our abstract fish. We've made our beautiful three-dimensional fish inspired by a two-dimensional painting. And I don't know if any of you have ever seen The Galloping Gourmet, but right now I feel like him. He used to make all kinds of bumbles while he was cooking. Okay? Enjoy the process. Enjoy your artistic choices. And I will see you next week. Bloop, 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 bloop. I still think it's a beautiful fish. Alright guys, have a great week. This is Miss Lisa, your art teacher, saying ciao for now from my table of art. It was quite entertaining, I must say. Have a great day, have a great week, and I'll see you next week. Be good, be well. I miss you. Bye-bye. Ciao.